All right. I'm going to tell you a quick little story. It may not be quick. You never know how these things go. I'll be brief, said TJ Martinell. So a fan of mine, we're going to call him the tornado chasing kid. It's like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, except instead of the Sundance Kid, he's the tornado chasing kid. And he's 20 years old. He chases tornadoes and is way ahead of life beyond everybody else. So he was in the Black Hills area. He still is. And nothing going on tornadic wise. And it's like, hey, can I crash? I'm like, yeah, come on over, relax. You know, we'll go bum around. I'll show you around the Black Hills. So we went hiking yesterday. Did two pretty cool hikes. One was a canyon, the other was a mountain. Young guy could keep up with me for a change. You know, guy less than half my age. It takes that to keep up with me. Old captain looks old. I look like crap, but I'm actually in pretty good shape. And so we go to a town. I'm not going to mention the town, but we went to a town in the Black Hills. And we went to a coffee store because we both had a hankering for coffee. You want espresso? I want espresso. We're like, oh, yeah, I could deal with that. So we find a place that's open, which is kind of rare because it was evening, but there was a coffee place that was open in the evening. Usually they're closed, 2 or 3 p.m. because why would you want to stay open, make lots of money with all the tourists? But I digress. And we walk in, and there's an emo chick, all dark and gloomy, baggy clothes. But if you look past that, she was really cute. I would say even bordering on beautiful. But I'm too old and I'm too scarred. I don't really identify beauty anymore. It's like, do you have any debt? Are you overweight and with other men's children? You're not? Hey, that's hot. You have no credit card debt? Ooh, tell me more. Anyway, but the tornado chasing kid, he's 20. And he's like, girls. I'm like me and Terrence Pop, like, nope. Nobody, nope. But she was cute if you look past it. And we're driving, and it started to simmer a little bit. And the tornado chasing kid, he's like, she was really cute. I'm like, yeah, she was. If you took the carpet off of her body and maybe put her in just a normal dress or, got rid of the mascara, that was a very pretty, cute girl, young girl, probably about the same age as the tornado chasing kid. Now, this town where we saw the cute girl is not many miles away, but it's an hour away. It's inconvenient to get back to this town because Old Capmeister's in Hermosa, and this town is not Hermosa. It's quite a far ways away from Hermosa. And there's no direct route because it's mountains. You got to kind of... And so this morning I was talking to the tornado chasing kid, and he said something that was truly romantic. Some would say naive. I would agree because I'm old and experienced, but he's 20 and naive, and he's idealistic. He's still got hope. And he said something very romantic. I want you girls to pay the F attention because this is for the ladies out there. Everybody give me, okay? He says, I got to go ask her out. I looked at him. I said, yeah, I think you do. Because otherwise you have regret. And whereas I kind of, that's interesting. Let's watch that. I got to stroke my beard. I wonder if he's going to get shot down. I wonder if she's even going to be there. You got to time it, You have to stalk your prey, right? Is it stalking? Oh my gosh. Who knows? But he said something very romantic, and that is, I got to ask her out. So this kid, not now, but later, he part of his itinerary, which he doesn't have to do, aside from enjoying the Black Hills and going hiking, going swimming, there's a great swimming hole south of Hot Springs. If you guys are interested, let me know. I know that's not a gay reference. There's the world's greatest swimming hole south of Hot Springs, South Dakota. Trust me, if you ever come out here. I'd say it's better than Mount Rushmore. That aside, after that, he is going to drive all the way to that town to ask that girl out. And I got to start thinking, like, has a girl ever gone to that extent for me? Has a girl ever gone that? And every great once in a while, sure. But I remember back when I was a dopey, dumbass 20-year-old, I would go the extra mile. I would go those great lengths. And I find it fascinating as well as insulting. I'm terribly sorry, ladies, where you think Men treat you poorly. Men are oppressing you. There's the unconscious sexism or institutional sexism. When this kid who could do anything else, he's got it in like 2 hours easily round trip. That's just getting there and back. That ain't the schmoozing and that. Not to mention the courage, right? Is willing to drive because he thought you were cute. I'm getting mighty sick and tired. I have been mighty sick and tired of this. Oh, you're so oppressed. Oh, men are hurting you. Oh, no, it's just so bad. And I'm thinking like, golly, that's really nice what that kid's doing. He's going all the way over there to ask her out. I'm not saying everyone's perfect. I'm not saying there's not jerk husbands or anything like that. But when I reflected upon my youth, and you boys probably reflect upon your youth, you used to do things like that. I used to go the extra mile. I used to it was stupid. And now keep in mind, this was late teen, early 20 Cappy. I would write dumb, cute poems that would then rhyme with my number. I like you, babe. I like you lots. It's for you. I got the hots. Here's my digits and here's my dots. Call me. I thought it was clever, back when I was 19 or 20. No. But that never happened to old Capmeister. Never once. Never once. And whereas I'm more than twice this kid's age, and I know probably what's going to happen, I just wanted to point out, give you a bit of empirical data, one data point of a good kid. And he is a good kid. He's a good kid, smart kid. I could go on about him because he's very unique. Obviously, tornado chasing at 20s. I'm not doing college. That's a waste of time. Smart enough to know that. I just want to, here's the little flag. Here's the little beacon of light. The next time you girls ever dare say, where have all the good men gone? They're lining up at your door. They're lining up. Now here's the qualification. As long as you're pretty, because we're not going to ask out girls we're not physically attracted to. That's the qualifier. Because we got a word for girls we're not physically attracted to, but they're called friends. You can be friend zoned all you want. But this kid, I'm like, that's an investment. No, he's not going to lose the house. But wow, he is going the extra length. He's going the distance. He's going for speed. She might be all alone in her time of need. Because he's a racing pace. Never mind. Point is, I have not seen women even go 1/10 the length of that in my years. I've not seen any kindness. I've not seen any olive branches. Pretty much, it's been a consistent cacophony of men bad, we're oppressed, boo-hoo-hoo, don't need you. Now here's a guy going once more under the bridge or onto the bridge. Onto the fold. What did the Brits say before they go and throw themselves on a beach and get whacked? He's going forward, courageous, his time, asking her out. And I hope to God that young lady, realizes, well, you can't assess it because she doesn't know him from Bibbly Buck Boo. But I hope she says yes, not just for his sake, but her sake as well. Because there's a good man, a good kid, taking on the extra time, going the distance, taking on. Now he's experienced. He knows how to approach girls. He's okay with rejection. He doesn't have approach anxiety. But still, taking on the courage to ask a girl out. I hope to God you say yes, sweetheart. Hope to God you say yes. Because I don't want it to be another 20 years when you're twice the age you are now and you're more or less mine. There was one right across the plate. Right across the M or F and plate. All you had to do was swing. I hope to God she swings. Now, it doesn't mean they're going to get married. It doesn't mean death do them part. They may not go anywhere. But for God's sake, sweetheart, please say yes to that guy. Go get a cup of coffee. Go enjoy your dinner. Go do whatever. Maybe go for a hike. I don't know what his itinerary plans. It's kind of interesting. How do you date as a tornado chaser? You got to pick up sticks and go and fly out. And you come back. But I'm done. I'm done hearing about how bad men are. When I was starkly reminded, I'm like, holy cow, that guy's doing that. And holy cow, I used to do that when I was a younger kid. And many of you guys did that as well. And yes, I'm sure there's some bad guys who ruin it. Oh, Cappy's never been a perfect saint either. I'm sure I've been the old creepy guy or the awkward guy asking you out. But in general, most of the guys are good. Most of the guys are honest. And I don't ever want to, and of course, what I'm want and what I'm going to get, two different things. I don't ever want to hear about how bad men are ever again. Never. Not to me. Go preach to someone else, ladies. Go cry to Oprah. Go with your commiserating knitting circle. Go complain to them. But I think it's about high time. Then stop, look like, did any of us bat 1,000? No. But some of us were good guys, and we drive to that town out in Black Hills, South Dakota, and ask the girl out, even though it took 2 hours of our time. And so that's what I've witnessed. That's what I've seen with men, and they're generally good guys. And if you girls don't want to appreciate that, you want to play the victimhood politics, woe is me, we're a fine, done. Just swear to God, don't complain when you're my age, like girls my age are doing, about you can't find no good man. About how you're, don't complain. Don't want to hear it. I think as time goes on and now we got this interwebs thing, we start compiling data and we see another data point like this, a ball right across the place, ain't nobody swinging at it. All right, we start to realize, hey, you know what? Nah, not our problem, not our fault. We didn't do nothing. We're good guys. We're good, pretty darn good. Not perfect, but we were good. And if you're going to reject that, that's fine. But I am done with the I'm oppressed. When you have guys lining up, driving the distance, going the distance, meeting you way more than halfway. And it'd be nice if you girls actually shut the F up, remove the feminism from your ears, looked at the empirical actions men do and say, well, maybe I don't like that guy. I'm not interested in him, which is understandable. But by God, he took the courage to ask me out. Or by God, he wrote me a stupid poem. I don't know if people know. Or by God, whatever. So there we go. I just had to get that off my chest. I'm like, there's a good kid doing a good thing. I don't think he's going to be rewarded. Which he's very mature for a 20-year-old kid. I think he knows he has no expectations. But I'd like to cheer the kid on and implore the young lady. She's not going to see this. You'll already ask her out by now. Like, hey, maybe say yes. And hey, I know the internet's and the YouTube said to dress like Sylvia Plath or who was the girl that they try to force on us Gen Xers that was hot, but she wasn't. Winona Ryder. I know you think Winona Ryder is like really cool and Ramona Flowers. And okay, hey, you know what? Remove the mascara, take off the carpet that you put over your body. Please put on a nice dress and just look pretty. Like just be feminine, be nice. I mean, you could see it. She was very pretty, very pretty. Like it wasn't putting a bumper sticker on a Ferrari. That's a tattoo. This was like a really dirty Ferrari. Like it had driven down a dirt road and was all dusty. All it needs to be is washed up. That's it. That's objectivity. Yes, it is. Men are very objectivist people. We're very objective. We have objectives. We have goals. We know what we like. It'd be like, that would look great if you, I don't know, look like a woman. We're pro-feminine. You have no idea how pro-female we are. The thing is, you have to be female. All right, let's go to Super Chats. Atham Eldecua for $1. I don't know what it is. What is it, guys? Do you know what it is? Is it a crazy rabbit jumping up and down? Is it a Mexican poops? We don't know. Speaking of Mexican poops, we got Mexi. Mike, you can't see the super sticker, so here's Mexican flag poop with it. Yeah, exactly. I almost like my Latino audience. I almost. Mexi Mike again, $2. Good old cloud streaming Cappy, not a boomer. Thank you. Alex Patino. See, the Latinos are coming out. They're coming out in force. They're all over the place. $2. Might as well join the gifting of the Mexican poops. You know what? We should really make that Athens flag. Like when he gets his own little hacienda or whatever, it'll be a flag with the Mexican flag and the poops, and then we'll know it's Athens Place. It's Alex Patino again, $5. All the time and money spent chasing girls where most of them got away somehow had better luck with unfaithful thoughts or threes or fours. Life is hard. All the time money spent chasing girls. Had unfaithful thoughts. Right. No, I hope she was, well, see, here's another thing. Cause you, me, I presume Mexi, Mike, anyone tuning, I think we're all like 30 plus. And so we're like old and jaded. I'm just cheering on for the kid. And like, I'm kind of hoping she's young, he's young. I'm not expecting them to get married, but like maybe they go have a nice dinner. Guys, remember that? You take a girl to dinner, not a fancy dinner. You're like, if you could scrimmage the money, you would, maybe take them to Johnny Rockets. If anyone know that? That's an old reference. You take them to some baby A&W, like, hey, it's not McDonald's because that's all the money I got. And then like she'd be all bashful and nervous. Is that even a thing anymore? Is it just like she's in her phone and like, I don't know. I'm hoping not. Mexi Mike, $5. Rolla says it best when women complain about where the good men. Roll's response: back in your early 20s where you left them for outside your SMV range. Oh, sexual market value range. Yes. Yes. I think we've moved on. I didn't realize what I had in front of me. Because like, I'm going to go run and do these things. I'm like, cool, do your 20-year-old thing. I was just chilling out, enjoying the weather because we got a little bit of storms coming in, which I enjoy. I enjoy weather. I get to see it move out to the east on the plains. I got a little bit of a hill, more of a slope. But I get a kind of like, I can see so I'm dreaming someday I get to see a tornado. But I was like, oh God, yeah. I used to do that. That's interesting. That's gonna be an adventure. That's gonna be a story he can tell. And he ain't gonna lose. I'll tell you this, he ain't gonna lose. The reason he ain't gonna lose is because he's gonna have character built, whether he succeeds or not. So I remember driving to Town X in the Black Hills, asking out this Cupernette. The other thing he won't have will be regret. He'll like, no, I did it. I tried. We'll see how it goes. Any bets? Anyone have any bets? Huh? Oh, scrolling down. Mexi Mike again, $5. Dang, Mexi, thanks for all the money. I like money. And you observed called it correctly, Cappy. Men like me, Dre, Fred, Swaloo, Digi, etc. will build ourselves to a 8, 9, 10 and no longer accept long-term relationships or monogamy. Yeah, Mex, I'd be curious. I know you want to remain anonymous, obviously, but I'd be curious about your background because I'll tell you this. Ain't nobody here really. Okay, Patino, long haul truck driver, makes over 6 figures, obviously in shape, ex-military, nice wife and family and kids. Atham, good looking, tall, much as it pains me to say that. I'm all right. I'm going to presume you ain't no douche. Swaloo's on his way. He's a young kid, though. He ain't as old. Dre, yeah, the well-endowed black man from the Marines, going off to computer science. Fred, yeah, professional. He's tall and good looking, too. I don't like it when my audience is better looking and taller than me. You all got to get shrunk and fat and ugly, okay? You all got to be uglier than me, which is pretty ugly. Yeah, and Fred's real interesting to watch at the front lines where it's like he's every girl's dream come true. He's tall, he's good looking, great shape, makes good money. I won't say what his profession is. Oh gosh, the drama and the qualification. Oh yeah, you're more of a charcoal dark, handsome man. I'm looking for more of a mahogany dark, handsome man. Like you have more gray eyes where I really want deep blue. It's like, all right, you're kind of a Central American Latino, whereas I want more of a not Mediterranean, Caribbean Latino. I know you check you're a great salsa dancer, you're tall, you're professional, but I'm really looking more for Cuban, Dominican, and you're from Guatemala, and it just isn't going to work out. Looking for more of a southern Wisconsin guy, not the central Wisconsin guy. Stevens Point is nice and all, but I'm really more of a Madison, Prairie du Chien type of girl. Yeah. Everyone, hey, it ain't a lot to beat me in height. All right, it's not like it's an accomplishment. Not all that big. Scrolling around here. Oh, Black Kojak. 5 British pounds are agent over in the United Kingdom. It sickens me when women get together and laugh at guys they turn down. I've put a couple in their place. Yeah, I'm going to go along with you on that. And Myron Gaines. Punish was too strong a word, but they do need to have a consequence that cannot go unanswered. That is unacceptably rude. It's not okay. It's unacceptable and it's rude. It irks me, the hypocrisy too, where all equal. Okay, when are you going to ask out guys? And when a guy asks you out, are you going to make fun of him? I'll tell you the story again. I mean, I have told it before, but maybe some new people. I don't tell the story a lot. It was one time there's a table of gals at a jazz club I used to frequent, which surprisingly in Minneapolis isn't open anymore. Oh, I wonder why. And there were 4 gals. And I just wanted to dance. There's a dance floor. The Volare Long Orchestra was playing. I was dressed up. I looked good. And I said, do any of you want to dance? And not until time went on did I realize how insulting that was, but they all giggled. I'm like, you dance with them. No, hey, you dance with them. No, you dance. I'm like standing right there. And had I been more aware or cognizant, I would have put my hands down. I said, ladies, let me explain something to you. I'm an exceptional ballroom dancer. I make good money and I'm a professional. And right now, a good man is asking one of you to dance with actually no sexual interest. Just do you want to dance? In 10 years from now, when you're all fat and in your 40s, don't you dare complain, where have all the good men gone? Because there's one standing right now in front of you. And it's incredibly rude with this poking you thing. Yo, you hee. Now, do any of you want to actually be grown-up adults and say yes or politely decline me? Either way. But I just, actually what I ended up doing was just turning around in disgust and walked away from him. And then I did end up dancing with a gal and, oh, look, he knows how to dance, or maybe I should. But the rudeness, yeah, that does exist. That does exist. Maxi Mike again. Volman wanted unfeathered hypergamy. You gals got it. Yep. Rise all the way to the top. It's an enjoyable. I like watching the weather outside, but I do enjoy watching women my age just age. What's your favorite hobby? Watching women my age. That's my favorite hobby. Did you know, Matt? Here he is, 2 Canadian bucks. You fixed the blue band cap. You did. No, it's the same blue band. I don't want to move it because it's got a very ginger connection. It would unplug. It's still, no, it's bent. It's got to be bent. Yeah, it's bent. There it is. It's bent. Don't worry about it. $3,000. You guys want a new rubber band? $3,000. Beavis Butthead, $5. Male codependency on women is an unrecognized problem. Well, okay, that's not a problem. That's how we're programmed. One could argue it's a problem and a disadvantage, yes, especially in today's world. But men and women have been codependent upon each other since time immemorial. That's how the human race perpetuates. Basing our self-worth on them has been to us from our female family members in the media. I don't know if it's certainly that's enhanced it, but it was a statement like, back in the Abrahamic religion days, whether it's Islam, Judaism, or Christianity, the guy who had the most cattle and wealth would have a harem of women. He'd have several wives. It was an empirical representation of your worth as a man, at least financially, in terms of a provider. So I wouldn't call it a codependency. It just is what it is. It's unfortunate. Nowadays, men have to wake up, and especially if girls you want to be independent, not need men. Okay, well, then we have to change our genetics, or at least override them somehow, or acknowledge them and move on. And our behaviors can no longer reflect our genetics. Like, you're not writing poems. Ask me if I was single, if I'm ever driving an hour to ask a girl out. Ask me that. Because I know what, and I've said it before, I'm just going to pay. I will just pay. I'll go to the seeking arrangement. I'll go to the what's it called? Not the back pages. Although they were called back pages. What is that called? Whatever. I'll go pay, because you pay anyway. But I'm not wasting my time. Oh, hey, Peggy Sue, it'd sure be swell if you went to the sock hop with me. Let's go get ourselves a root beer float. Like, hey, here's the money, because I know you're busy, and that's basically it. And we'll cut through the chase, and I'm incredibly busy as well. Pick Mosey, I'm a woman. No, you don't. You've been given the wrong information. You've been propagandized. And please, you're an independent-minded gal. You're on this show here. You're not part of we. They suck. There's good and bad in all groups of people. Race, sex, gender, doesn't matter. All good and bad. Don't throw yourself in with the modern-day 18 to 35-year-olds. We're going to shoot down good guys. Scrolling. Keep those doggies scrolling. Boop, boop, boo, boo, doo, ride. Mexi Mike, and no shame on Alex or other trad type with the quality rare gal, because they got the smart gal that cashed in early. But for the post 27-year-old gals, good luck. Yeah, no, we have them. See, exactly what I was telling everybody. I think I was on with Rule Zero earlier today. Most of the guys have a steady. Not a wife, but they got a steady, because there's good gals. There are good gals out there. They're rare. They're not perfect. You're like, okay, I got to explain this to you. See, that cloud that is now touching the ground and turning up stuff and is coming towards us, that's a tornado. And we need to get the F out of its way now. Oh, yeah. If your depth perception picks it up, but it's coming here rather quickly. Now, do you want to live so we can have sex another day? Or do you want to ask me why I'm telling you to get the F in the car right effing now? Because we're going to die. Yes, we're going to die. That's bad. Yes, it is, sweetheart. Get in the effing truck. That never happened, and it was never that stupid. But there's been times where I'm like, oh, my God. Can you not connect the dots? They're two big dots, a millimeter apart from each other. All you got to do, you could spit and connect them. David Suarez, again, with the Latino Appreciation Hour here, apparently. Graduated high school 2 years ago, and all the girls I've simped over are fat and single moms. Right. 2 years, that's all it took. What are you, in Wisconsin? Glad they rejected me. There you go. I look at it from that perspective. It's not that perspective. It's reality. I think it was yesterday somebody said that. Yeah, it was a super chat yesterday. I think I did. Says I got turned. A girl stood me up. How do I get over it? I'm like, celebrate the fact that a liar prevented you from going out with her. Like, you're never going to interact with that person again, and they're a liar. That's good. Wow, single moms by 20. Let me guess, it'll be the patriarchy that kept them down, not the fact they have kids they can't afford. Boo-boo for 9 Polish Lotskis. Hey, hello, boo-boo. Beavis Button for 10 generous dollars. Man, look at this. It starts from a young age. In school, a girl will tell you so-and-so likes you and thinks you're cute. Go ask her out. And her friends are setting you up. Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. You're right. And her friends are setting you up to be laughed at. Oh, hell no. You ugly. Yeah. Yep, that would happen. Hee. Wonder what's going to happen down the road. What will form men's opinion of women? Alex Patino again. $5. Karma does catch up with most of them. Hit the wall, then write articles, have fur baby, drink boxes of wine, take sleep and antidepressant medication. I do take sleep medication. I I take melatonin. I guess it's not a medication, whatever. But yeah. And Alex, I think I got 10 years on you at least. Dude, wait till you hit your 40s. Just wait. Some of you in your 30s, you can already see the beginnings. It only gets better or worse, depending on what perspective you want. I thought it was a joke. But here's another thing. I'll give you a little bit more advice. Stay in shape. Just stay in shape. And it's vain. Does it ultimately matter? Not really. I mean, you should stay in shape to live longer. But I can't deny my genetics because it's happened now with 2 or 3, maybe 4. You will run across your exes every once in a while. And they're certainly scoping you out on the internet, on the Facebook and all that. But in person, I ran into 4 exes where they got fat, or maybe they didn't get fat, but damn, did I look good. I look good. Because I was a scrawny, I was a $125. Basically until I almost late 20s. But yeah, I was scrawny until I even got a beard. But now I'm not jacked, of course, but I certainly have added pounds of muscle, and I'm dressed nice. And there was this one gal. It took me years to figure out who she was. I'll tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. No, I'm going to tell you a story now. I went to a high-end grocer. I forget. I don't know if it was Kowalski's or Byerly's or One's or whatever. They got the high-end grocers. I don't know if you guys got them in your town, but I do. Or I did. This is in the Twin Cities. And the prices are double what you pay at Walmart. But I don't go to get my groceries there. I go because they got a deli and a hot bar, and it's really good, high-quality food, and I don't have to cook it. So I got my whatever, fish and chicken and good stuff. I'm checking out, and the guy's like, "Oh, hi, Aaron." I'm looking, total blank. I'm like, "Do I know you?" She's like, "Yeah, Aaron." I'm like, "Oh," and I immediately thought, because I was in the community, I used to teach dance classes regularly. I'm like, "Oh, were you a dance student?" She says, "No." I'm like, "Oh." And she could tell by my face, I had no idea. She's like, "We dated for like 2 months." I'm like, I would probably remember that. And I'm like, looking. I'm like, how long ago was this? She was overweight. She was old. I mean, my age, aged. She had aged. And I, honest to God, could not figure out who this woman was. And I'm like, oh my God, either I was really drunk for 2 months or this person has really changed. And she's like, yeah, we were. I'm like, well, how long ago was it? She's like, well, it was more than what was it, 19, 20 years ago? It was in the 90s, early aughts. I'm like, and I remember saying, I'm like, well, that was like 20 years ago. I really can't remember. It's like, oh, you're always funny like that. And I wanted to say, no, lady, I don't know who the F you are. I can't. I did date a fair amount of gals, some of which did last a month or two, and that really doesn't narrow it down much. So I left. I'm like, who the heck was that? It didn't, not until 2 years later. I'm like, that's who it was. And yes, she was much thinner and hotter than she was back then, 20 years ago, than she is today. They go to pot. Have faith in the human addiction to laziness and sloth. Have complete and total faith in it. And also have complete and total faith in society's absolute desire and compunction to lie to women, to tell them anything but truth and reality. So that 20 years from now, the girl, as Suarez, he had the girls. I mean, that happened quick, two years. But have complete faith that society will send women down the wrong path, and that their laziness and sloth, which men also have, by the way, I'm just pointing out on women, don't think men are off the hook either. It will ruin them. So that if you just stay the F in shape, and Alex, he talks about his roadside workouts, some burpees and some push-ups and all that, and you just don't pack on the pounds, you will run into not all of them, but some of them. And you'll be like, oh, hey, how you doing? If you remember them. Other time you're like, huh? Yeah, well, we did. Oh, was it fun? Because I don't know. And then I remember, I'm like, Oh, that's the girl. And now you're a checkout clerk at 47. I remember she was a year older than me. You're almost 50. You're a checkout clerk. Now, if she had kids and raised, I'd be okay with that. Like, okay, you had a real job. That's raising, being a parent is a real job. You're 50 and a checkout clerk. Oh, man. Just stay in shape, guys. Just stay the F in shape. That's it. All right, scrolling down, we got a little bit more. Athabel Decchio. Hey, he found his wallet. $2. Toma Chango 2 banana. Oh, by the way, Viva Mexican poops. Viva, yes. Toma Chango 2. Something my banana? Somebody who speaks Spanish. Translate that for me. All right, let me make sure I didn't miss any others. Thank you for all the donations, by the way. All proceeds will go. What are the proceeds going to? The proceeds are going to extra lumber to support my patio. So if and when I do put a hot tub up there, it doesn't fall the F down. Boo-boo for 48 Polish zlotskis. What's the zlotski? What is that in US dollars? 26.4. Oh, with 0.4. 0.4. Oh, that's 12, 13 bucks. Thanks, boo-boo. On 32, scored 142 on Queendom, 139 on similar Polish tests. Tell me, you ever get used to how stupid people? No, it just gets worse. You lose patience. I'm sorry, boo-boo. I wish I could paint something positive, but you're gonna have to do some deep Zen or Stoic philosophy to unplug and try to not let people bother you. But it never goes away, and it just gets worse. Because here's what it is. As you get older, you get more of a network, you get more skills, and you make more money on a per hour basis. And then you realize also how dependent you are on other people. Economy is just interdependency between other people exchanging goods and services or trades. And then when you realize that in order to achieve anything in society, you are 100% reliant on other people, you realize that no matter how hard you try, there is a hard limit to the amount of success you can have. Now, of course, through entrepreneurship and other things, you could have Jeff Bezos type of luck. I'm just saying your regular day-to-day operations, where you're like, okay, I'm capable of this, but society's only going to let me achieve this. And not necessarily even in like finances or health, but just day-to-day errand running. Like go to the Walmart in Rapid City, which, okay, that's unfair. It's not bad because they have self-checkout lanes. Go to, I'm trying to figure out, where would you go? Any restaurant now in Rapid City or the United States. Like, you cannot get the meal served to you in under 20 minutes, which is a long time to wait. I've driven 45 minutes to a place because I know they got the food, they got what I want, and they serve it on time, and there's no freaking line. But just every here where the real term microaggression would come in, that's legit, and not an aggression, but a micro slowdown. And you add them up 1,000 times over the course of the day. It's like I could have been done with my day 3 hours ago, but because I had to wait every little stoplight, every little checkout, every little interaction I had with a human added a minute or two to my day. And it just slows you down. So no, it doesn't get better. And you don't get used to, the only way you get used to stupid people is you realize they're the enemy of a certain way, and you identify them as the cattle essentially they are, and you take advantage of them, which is why, even though it's been postponed because of the house and everything, that's what Operation Evil is. Not you guys, but y'all stupid. Y'all cost me my time and my life and my potential. I am going to take what is rightfully mine back and get my tonnage of pound of flesh out of you idiots. You idiots are like, you weren't popular in school because you didn't have the right shoes. You didn't have Nike high tops. You didn't wear Cavaricci pants. That's though, you're not cool because you don't watch the sports ball game. Yeah. I'm getting my money back. I'm getting my time, money, and flesh with interest back. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's how I kind of deal with stupid people. David Suarez again for $5. Yeah, man, I'm from Dallas. All the hot guys and hot girls from my high school are completely different people. They look at me different now. Really, Dallas? I mean, that's big. I mean, Dallas proper, Plano, suburbs, ghetto. Where were you? Because I can't. Dallas is not Wisconsin. When I was thinking Wisconsin, I was thinking like rural Wisconsin, where I actually graduated high school my senior year. I went to a small town in Wisconsin. And when I would rarely come back home, which was like once every 6 months, we play the Who's Pregnant Now game. So I'm kind of curious, like where in Dallas, was it Burb City? Like the old neighborhoods that are kind of becoming gentrified. Grandy Ingersoll for $10. As a 5'11" man in his 40s, I did okay as a younger guy. These boys these days seem to be growing. Please advise your younger man viewers to consider women's height when procreating with kids. You're very optimistic to even get to the point of having kids. I mean, yeah, I guess you could consider not having sex with short women because your sons would potentially grow up short. But I'm not. Talk to me and Rob Says of robsays.net. I don't think him nor I ever really let our height get in the way of things. I mean, yeah, it's a disadvantage, but it wasn't crippling. But I mean, you're right, Grady. I'm not 20 years old. I don't know what it would be because a 5'9" back in the 90s is probably not the same as a 5'9" guy today. Maybe it's even worse. It probably is worse because I guess people are trending taller. And girls just can't. I want a 6'5" guy or 6 foot guy. Sorry, unless 6 foot, don't even talk to me. It's like, do you girls know math? Do you know any math? You got the internet. Hang on. What percent of men are 6 foot tall? Hang on. What is it, like 14%? %14.5%. It's 1 in 8. 1 in 7.5. Yeah, well. When your 40s come, ladies, you're 5'11". Grady, I just don't know. Oh, I think I'm going to hold out. Hey, Swallow Blue, $5. Film class is rather boring. When do we get a podcast with Chad in it? It's going to be a while, Swallow. Chad's coming into town tonight. I'm going to drive out to the airport, pick him up. So he'll be in town. I don't know if we're going to do a podcast. He's burnt out. I'm burnt out. The tornado chasing kid is a big fan of Chad's, actually, which we're going to spring it on him because Chad is very humble. He's a good guy. He's very humble. He can't believe people like him on the internet and donate super chats when he's on. And so this guy's like, oh, I'm a big fan of Chad Elkos. I'm like, you are? Really? I'm like, yeah, tell Chad that. He'll love it. But he'll be like so humble. He'll be like, what, really? Oh, man. I can do it now because I think he's over at the airport waiting to get a flight. So it'll be a while. Yeah, so you know what? Everybody go. You don't need to watch my podcast. You don't want a podcast in summer. It's July, 4th of July weekend. Y'all should be out going, having fun, running, biking, going to mountains, going to national parks, spending time with your kids. You don't need to tune into this thing. Quincy Maverick for $2. He has nothing to say. Thanks, Quincy. Boo Boo for 24 by $6 US. I'm just doing CGI prawn. Computer graphic prawn? Don't have to deal with people much. They are still annoying though. I have of the many fictional books I want to write. One is a guy who doesn't necessarily go into a digital world or a matrix, but does go into an alternative world that he creates in his mind for reasons that are the plot of the book. And I like to think it's interesting, but I don't know if I'll ever get around to writing it. Did you know, Matt? $2 Canadian. But Cappy, Karen in HR said a master's preferred. Yes. How is that working for Karen? See, even when I was a younger man, these girls who were in their 20s and 30s were HR directors and HR professors, HR generals. Where are they now? Oh, they're miserable and they're outsourced. They're getting rid of HR. Now it's like employment law compliance or benefits and compensation. That HR ditch is long gone. Long gone. La. FD for $10. Man, thanks, guys. My grandpa told me back in the 50s and 60s. Oh, you're older then. That he grew up. No, my grandpa told me that back in the 50s and 60s, women that he grew up with. Okay, so he was 50, 60, so you're a little bit younger than me. That he grew up with would pursue prospective husbands and boyfriends all the time. Literally, girls would knock at your door. Yes, there was, also keep in mind, wars would make male supply limited. Now we don't really have wars where, 2 million or, 5% of your male population dies. And I have talked to, obviously, my parents, but also my grandparents, and my mom was appalled that women would do such a thing as a stand a man up. That she was just like, no, that can't happen. That can't happen. I'm like, believe it, lady, it's happening. But no, it was a different time back then. And Jason Rose for $5. Do you think $40,000 is too much to spend on a van to live in 5 days a week? Home paid for in Tennessee, but travel 3 hours a day for work. Can't you sell your home and move to where the work is? That's what I would say. Then, no, that's basically your apartment. No, 40 grand is not too much. You should be able to write it off. If not, contact Chad Elkins. He'll be able to point you in the right direction and tell you what to do. It also depends on how much you make per hour. If you're making $15 an hour, no. But if you're a tradesman and you're making $100 an hour, yeah, you can write it off. It would depend more on your specific situation. All right, did I catch everything? Oh, Mexi Mike. $10. Non-STEM normies don't understand statistics. No, they don't. They really don't. They don't understand billions, trillions, or millions. They don't understand that either. 14% height men times 10% six-fig men. You're speaking my language. I wrote a book. I did all the numbers right here. What women's expectations are of men statistically. The book of numbers. Analyzing the ROI of the pursuit of women. Go get this book. You young boys will realize, oh my God, is it that bad? Yes, it is. And you also have to consider co-correlation between those items, but I understand what you're going with there, Mike. So 6 foot, 14%, six figs, 10%, and six pack, 10% men with six pack. No, that's 1%. There are so few men that have a six pack. That's like the most stringent of the statistics. X some other BS standard equals less than a 1% probability that male doesn't want used locales. Hey, Nonstop Dre, look who's in the house. The Marines are here. Do you think PhDs may become required like masters? No, what I think, much as I dislike Biden, a money printer go burr, and stimmy checks, which Trump did too, so let's be honest. I like how not only just the millennials, which they did this before, but now Gen Xers or Gen Zers are like, no, I'm not working. You will pay me a living wage, which is what I thought would be like, it's none of the government's business to set a minimum wage, but you should never take a job unless it's living wage. Why would you take it if you can't live off of it? Unless you're not like a high schooler or a kid that lives at home. But most people, especially boys, are getting smart enough to not go to college anyway. And for a group of people like government employees, academics, school teachers, and school administrators, yeah, they're going to want to get their PhDs. But no, I don't think generally, like, the MBA, I think, is dead. HR is dead. And it's all for many other reasons, not just the internet or people like Joshua Fluke, who I think has done some incredible work waking people up, younger people, to the hypocrisies of employers and corporate America. But people just say, I'm not going to school for 25 effing years. No, and I'm not paying that price. Inevitably, and it's already there. If you took the money you'd spend on college and just split it between the S&P 500 and a real estate investment fund, or you put a down payment on a house, you'd be way better off financially than had you gone to school and then like, oh, I got I make, instead of $30,000 a year, I make $35 because I have a degree. No, I think education is slowly deflating, actually. If for any other reason, men are getting smart enough, young men are smart enough not to go to college for stupid stuff. But for the vanity, these bogus industries and fields that are make-work government program, social work, teachers, education, academia, government administration, that type of stuff. They'll all like, I have a PhD, because it's not whether you actually produce anything of value or are worth to society. These people just want to be able to go to a controlled environment where they get A's in easily passable subjects. I have a doctorate. I am so educated. I are so smart. SMRT. But most people are waking up. They're getting wise. You're like, I mean, come on, isn't it a joke? Like lawyers, like back in my day, lawyers were big. Now it's a joke. You're a lawyer? Oh, how much debt are you in? What ambulance are you chasing? Ooh, you have your MBA? MBAs used to mean something. Doctors, the only thing that remained from MBAs, lawyers, and doctors is the doctors. And I'm talking medical doctors. I'm not talking doctorates in journalism. So they, in some fields, they may become required, but the smart people aren't going to pursue them. Mexi Mike. Oh, we already did that one. All right, sorry. All right, let's get through the rest. I think we got two more. Jonathan Lawless, 125 Philippine dollars. What's the Philippine currency? Hang on, let's see. Philippine currency. Philippine. It's the peso, isn't it? It just types out Philippine currency, the US dollar. Philippine peso, 2 cents. What is that? Oh, that's like that's $3. Thank you, Jonathan. Just concentrate on yourself. Women are attracted to success from the Philippines agent in the field. Well, thank you, our Filipino agent in the field. It's good to know. Jason Rose, $5. Asheville is too expensive. I make $23 an hour commission. Take home around $1,000 a week. Asheville, North Carolina, is that expensive? Can you just move off into the mountains or get a little bit outside of Asheville? Mexi Mike again for $5. Boy, he's the most generous Latino. I think out of all the Latinos, Mexi Mike won today. That's certainly wasn't Anthem. Laughing aloud, but don't worry. 6% growing to 70% worthless degree result in the well-deserved student debt bailout via the U.S. taxpayers. Thank you. You're welcome. And they will still insist the strong, independent woman don't need no man, fish, bicycle. They will still insist they're strong and independent. All right, that's it. Let's cheer on for our buddy, the tornado chasing kid. We'll come up with a movie instead of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, which, by the way, if you guys have some time, go watch it. Very good movie. We'll have Aaron Clary and the tornado chasing kid. And I'll be the old grizzled guy who's never shot a man in his life before. I'm like, listen, kid, I got to confess something to you. Yeah. I've never killed a man before. What a great time to tell me. Great movie. Great movie. Think we use enough dynamite? Boom. All right. See you guys later. Toodles.